Hey, John Case with Line Drive Nation. Hope everybody's doing well, and thanks for jumping on. If you get on later and watch this, hey, if you have questions or comments, hey, let me know, and we'll discuss those. But hey, thanks again for jumping on. So let's talk about players owning their swing, and I want to wish everybody happy holidays and Merry Christmas. I know it's a busy week, but really, I've been surprised the number of swings we're getting through our online program this December. Hitters are staying after it, and pretty soon, I mean, everybody's going to be back at it. I'd say in January, and hopefully, 2021 will be a little better than 2020 for sure. But hey, I wanted to kind of just send this message out because this is why I think this is important for hitters to own their swing. And I've talked about this in some capacity in several videos, but eventually, like, I think if we take the thought that the goal is, our youth player enjoys the game and continues to play and improves, that they can get to that middle school, that high school level. And eventually what it becomes is, the hand holding has to stop at some point, because when they get into the middle school age and then into high school for sure, that can they play? That's what the coach is going to ask. He's going to look and see, hey, can you play? Can you hit? Can you field? Can you run? Can you throw? All those things. So, I think as you've got to kind of wean hitters off and start them early in owning their swing. So just some ideas on it. And here's what drives me nuts. So when I get a new hitter in person, okay, and I try to have discussions with them and ask what they've heard from coaches, what they've heard from their hitting instructors. And I'm telling you, most of them cannot, they can't explain anything that they've worked on. Okay, so obviously that's not a good thing for parents with the pocketbook paying money for lessons. But, we want them to absorb the information, do what they can with it. I mean, obviously there's different players have different attention spans. Some are into it more than others. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go in, but I think that, and listen, I'm not saying it hasn't happened to me. Somebody's come to me and then gone to somebody else for a hitting session and can't really tell what they've worked on. But I try my best to get that hitter to own what they're doing rather than me just regurgitating, hitting terms at them and that kind of thing. So, and the other is, especially at the hitters that are, I'd say 11 and up, maybe 10 and up. I mean, they can't discuss the swing or they won't discuss it, and everybody has a different personality. I get it. Okay. But, they've got to get to the point that they're talking back and forth, and it's not just, the parent telling them, the coach telling them, the hitting instructor telling them. So here's what I would suggest, and I try to ask as many questions as I can to encourage feedback. Okay. Things like, how did that round feel? Okay. Just kind of open-ended questions where, it's not a yes or no. Did you do this? Did you do that? How did you feel on that round? Did you like the results you were getting? Did it feel like you were getting the ball in the barrel? Is that the result? And this kind of goes to, expectation of results too. I tell we've got the building you see out back behind me. It's 50 feet long, but obviously the cages are shorter than that. I think it's about 30-foot cage. So they'll hit I guess kind of a line drive, a hard shot to the bottom of the back wall, which would really in reality be a ground ball. And, they think that's good. So getting on, and I tell them, hey, that turns into a ground ball if we're outside at the field. Okay. But getting them to really buy into what really creates a good result in a cage and that kind of thing. So getting on the same page with that, and they may take, you may be working on barrel path, getting in the zone early, working on playing with a pitch. And as an instructor or even a parent working with your hitter or coach, maybe they only hit 2 or 3 good ones. And then, but what you want to do is when they hit those 2 or 3, hey, what did you feel on that swing? What was your swing thought? How did you make that happen? And I think the more you say that, then, it becomes, they own it and, well, did you, later on, did you feel the same as that previous swing? And I think that another big thing is, have them explain, obviously as a coach or hitting instructor, we try to explain why we're getting somebody to do something. Why do we want your barrel to be in the zone and through the zone late? Well, it's because then your timing doesn't much, right? You can be on time, you can be a little bit late, you can be early, you can handle an off-speed pitch. So you want them to understand the why of what you're instructing them to do. And so, and they have to be able to explain that back to you. Now, I really encourage coaches, parents, stay away from you need to do this or you need to do that, because they don't need to do anything, right? I mean, it's their swing, and it kind of goes back to owning it, right? They don't have to do anything, okay? But, you want to instill in, this is what'll get you that result that you're looking for, rather than you need to do that. And I see that, quite a bit, from parents and other coaches and things like that. Don't, I talked about this a little bit earlier. Don't critique every single swing. Wait till the round is over. Okay. You might say one or two things during the, a round of 7 to 10 swings, but if you're on them every single swing, it starts to go in one ear and out the other. Hey, and the other thing I wanted to kind of leave with, so we do this, I'll tell you what's impressive through the online hitting program. There's several times where we have a lot of hitters that'll go out, and these are hitters from, I'd say they're, 8 to the 12, up to high school age, will go out and set that camera up themselves while their parents are at work or whatever's going on, and they'll video their own swings, right? And that's impressive to me. And they send them in, and the parent's not involved at all. And we try to do this through, and it's hard to do. So in our you kind of look at the picture that we used for this post, we've got one hitter in one cage, and we've got 2 tees set up, working on different drills, okay, but they're working on their own. And I think that when you give them the ownership, and it's funny because obviously you'll get those that aren't doing it correctly, or over there just goofing around, and so all of a sudden one of their teammates will say, "Hey, coach, they're not doing it right," a little tattletelling on them, but they see that they're not working on things, and it really gives. And our group, my 2 11-year-old teams have become pretty good at, we can put them with a drill on their own, and you've got an eye on them, and if they do start goofing around, jump in, but they do a really good job of handling drills on their own. But anyway, those are just some of my thoughts on owning the swing, and I think it really it just comes back to this, eventually it becomes, can you play? Now, everybody has different goals, right? But I would say at the least, if you're paying for lessons, if you're paying for a travel ball team, and even if you're paying for a rec league team, I mean, your goal has to be, your player's goal should be to make a middle school team, and on the high end of it, make a high school team, maybe the highest, start for a high school team eventually. So anyway, that's why I think it's really important to help them, own their swing. So just a short video today, and appreciate everybody jumping on, and hope everybody, again, Merry Christmas to you, Happy Holidays, and we look forward to seeing a lot of the hitters that have taken some time off in January, and wish everybody good luck on the upcoming season. And again, if you have any topics, any thoughts on this, hey, put it in the comments, send us a message, email us. We'll be happy to address anything that you want to discuss. So anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll talk to you later.